The video you about to watch, it's me breaking down gold, showing you how to take positions on gold, or showing you how to trade gold, right? In a manner, showing you how to trade gold. So I just want you to listen to this, right? So these are my notes, like it's just me writing everything I do. So, as a beginner, you must first prioritize the knowledge, accumulate as much information as possible, right? Let me read that again. As a beginner, you must first prioritize the knowledge, accumulate as much information as possible, right? There's always room for improvement. Stop being arrogant. Put in the work, put in the hours. If you do that, I promise it's going to pay you back. And again, while learning, like find some kind of side hustle, find some kind of a little job, no, just to get some income for you to fund, or you can sell some important things to you that don't normal work, or just find some side hustle and do something. I hate it when people come up with excuses instead of finding a way. Find a way, don't find excuses. So in today's video, I'll be showing y'all or breaking down to y'all how to take trades on gold. Matter of fact, how to scalp gold. And again, I'll be using past data. To show y'all how to take setups or how to trade gold, right? Matter of fact, how to scalp it. So jumping straight to it without wasting any time, and these are the basics, trust me. Support and resistance, right? Support and resistance. And again, trade the markets for what they are. Don't create your own setups, don't create your own scenarios in your own head just because you want to trade, right? That doesn't work. So again, I see that we have some kind of resistance up here. And if you were to pay close attention to, right? Let me use my arrow. If you were to pay close attention to, you would see that the moment price rejected there, right? We had that retest to the upside, but we were just moving, playing, and eventually we did respect our zone and we rejected and we dropped to the downside, right? So in this case, obviously, I know you asking yourself that how would you take the trade, right? In this case, it's you trading the markets for what they are. In this case, it's you trading the market for what they are, right? So just being honest with y'all, we would have some kind of support breakout right there. Nothing crazy. I'd use this wick, right? I'd use that wick, to create my support line, which is gonna act as one of my confirmations, right? And what do I mean by that? Short positions, stop loss above resistance, right? And again, when it comes to take profit and stop loss, you do not just guess for yourself where you want to put it. We got zones, we got wicks for reasons, right? That's the reason why there's this word called analysis. You have to analyze before you take trades. You won't just jump into a trade because you want to trade, right? So this is how we would look at it. Like, just being honest, this is how we would look at it. And obviously, as you'll see, I'm gonna demonstrate it to y'all. As y'all can see, that the moment we hit that resistance again, we rejected. We had that subsequent bearish candle and engulfing candle, whereby we did break our support, which was our first confirmation, and that would be our entry right there. We go for sales, we put our stop loss above our resistance, we use proper risk management. And again, proper risk management is an essential but often overlooked, right? So we would take our trade right there, and obviously, as y'all can see, boom, and eventually we did have that retest, and overall I would look for price to continue dropping to the downside. So what do I mean by this? I'm gonna break it down to y'all in a simpler form, right? So first confirmation was that rejection on our resistance. Second confirmation, beautiful engulfing candle which broke our support. So that was our second or third confirmation, right? So the moment we saw that we had a rejection, price couldn't break that resistance, price rejected, price gave us a subsequent bearish candle, and eventually we did end up going to the downside, right? So we have full confirmation that, hey, price is dropping. What do you wait for next time? You wait for that retest, and that might be your second entry right there, and then you catch those sells to the downside again, right? Nothing complicated, nothing crazy. You shouldn't have to mix up what you do. Focus on one thing, and again, trade the markets for what they are. Don't trade what you saw or what you assume or what you heard. Trade the markets for what they are. And again, I'm still gonna show you some kind of support breakout, resistance breakout, and a trend line breakout, right? So firstly, when it comes to, let me do this. Firstly, when it comes to those support breakouts, and again, the previous resistance that we used, right? The previous zone that we used, we can still use it, right? We can still use it. If y'all know, you know, right? So if if I was to drag it, we can see that that resistance goes or comes a long way, right? So again, what do I mean by saying trade the markets for what they are, right? I just want to show you all that you shouldn't make things complicated. Focus on one thing, and evolve on it each and every single day. Never stop doing it, right? Keep on practicing, keep on back testing, right? So as y'all can see, right, price did push to the upside. Price did push to the upside. As y'all can see, higher high, right? Those higher lows, higher high, those higher lows, higher high, and eventually price did reject, and eventually we did had that job, right? So that's where we come in as scalpers. That's when we come in as scalpers, right? So again, same as the last setup I showed you, using my line as my confirmation zone, right? And again, why am I choosing to put it here? Because I see that's where we have those wicks, right? And I used to like, and I prefer to use wicks, unlike just guessing where to put it, right? We trade the markets for what they are. So again, same setup, right? Same setup, rejection, price broke our support line. So first confirmation, we broke, we had our retest. So that's our second confirmation that, hey, we can either enter more positions, or we should have been patient and entered right now because we just had that retest continuous, right? So that's how it is. Price eventually pushed. What happened? Retest, we continued to the downside. So in this case, you would have just gotten two trades right there, you know. So it's not crazy when it comes to scalping. Trust me, it's not crazy when it comes to scalping. So I'm gonna break it down to y'all, you know. And when it comes to gold, I would recommend you to use proper risk management. And what do I mean by saying proper risk management, right? What do I mean by that? Like, risk management is an essential but often overlooked, which creates a big problem for traders. A trader who has generated good amount of profits can lose it all in just one day or two, or in just one or two bad trades without a proper risk management approach, right? So you can have a good strategy, you can be good in the market, but be weak at proper risk management, and only that can hurt you, or only that can like just pull you back because you think you know it all, because you think you always have to go all in. It's not all about that. You have to risk a certain percentage that you're willing to lose, right? To make a certain percentage. For example, you risking 1% of your account to make 7 or 10%, right? Like, that's good risk management because you're only risking 1%, nothing much. So, you know, and again, it's important for you to have big capital. If you really want to take Forex seriously, you need to learn to invest in yourself. Save funds for your account. First learn, then earn, right? While you're still learning, save money to fund. Don't complain. Either you sell something, either you find a hustle, either like just find a way. Don't make excuses. Find a way, right? So again, just showing you more. Again, when it comes to support and resistance is everywhere. Just because you do not see it doesn't mean it's not there. Again, I'm gonna use that week to create my support, right? I'm gonna use that week to create my support. And as y'all can see right here, price was really creating those higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? Until we created some kind of support whereby we were just consolidating. And those who do not know what consolidation is the market just moving in one place, right? That's what we call consolidation. It's not going up, it's not going down, it's just consolidating in one place. And that's not a position or a place you would want to find yourself at, right? So again, looking at it, we see we have some kind of consolidation. We created some kind of support down there. And again, I know how you're asking, hey Breezy, how would you take the trade? Come on, I got you. There's nothing crazy here. You're trading the markets for what they are. And as a scalper, I trade breakouts, whether it's a trendline breakout, support breakout, or resistance breakout, right? As long as it's a breakout, we're turning up. But again, I prefer to use this week right there, create my resistance line, right? Create my resistance line. And obviously, this is how you would see the market by that time, right? So we see that, hey, we had some kind of fake out. And again, fake outs are a real thing. Trust me. Fake outs are a real thing. And even here, we created some kind of double top whereby most program traders would think price is gonna reject and drop to the downside, because y'all guess. You gotta learn. Don't guess. You gotta learn, right? So back to what I was saying, this is how we would see it, right? So the moment price breaks our resistance line, we break, that's when we would take our position, right? We would go long. Probably it would be a nice 1 to 3, a nice 1 to 4, but it depends, right? So we targeted stop loss under our support or under our resistance at all times. And again, risk what you're willing to lose, right? Don't do things for show offs. Don't do things for the media. At this point, it's you versus you. Every move you make, it's either for your family or it's either for you, right? We're grown now. You don't want to be around here doing silly mistakes. So as I was saying, we had that breakout, which was a fake out, right? And eventually we did break. So that's where we would take that trade, and eventually boom, 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 take profit got hit, right? I would show you more. Like, trust me, I would show you more, because I used to learn trading without Wi-Fi or data. Like, I would just open the screen without it moving, without it being updated. I would just practice, back test without taking no positions. Trust me. So I know how it really feels to have nothing. I know how it feels to come from nothing. I know how it feels, like being dedicated, but you have no money to fund. I know how it feels. I've been there, right? I'm not rich yet, but I promise you I'm a pending millionaire, and everything I do is for my mama, right? I'm trying to give them a better life, a beautiful life, because you never had that, trust me. So now as we see this, right, we see that we created some kind of support right there, right? Y'all can see that price started dropping to the downside, right? Price eventually started dropping, which created some lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? We saw that price started dropping, and eventually first confirmation for you to know that, hey, price is not gonna drop anymore lower, right? For me, I'd look at this like, just being honest, we do have some kind of rejections right there. And what do I mean by that? This is what I mean. If you pay close attention, you would see that the moment we approached, or the moment we created that kind of resistance down there, we didn't break it. We hit it at first, we rejected, we hit it again, we rejected, and eventually price started heading to the upside, creating those higher highs and higher lows, right? So that should be your first confirmation that, hey, price cannot break that support. So that's your first confirmation. Price cannot break this support. That's our first confirmation, right? So obviously you would approach it this way. You would approach it this way just because you see price not breaking, right? You would approach it this way and boom, boom, boom. But eventually, I think that would be a fake out. Why? Because again, price is living a lot of wicks, right? And that for me, I think it shows me like there's a lot of people in the markets or a lot of liquidity because price is not moving in a proper manner, right? It's just moving like irrationally. So we wouldn't take that trade right there, but instead we would be patient, right? But if you were to take it right there, probably you would get stopped out, or it would just play with you, just consolidate with you, right? So you just be patient and see what the market does. Be patient, and eventually we see that price retraced down back to the same. We see that price retraced back to the same support we created down there, right? As y'all can see, we created some kind of double top. I will use my circles for that to highlight it for y'all. We created some kind of double tops. We created some kind of double tops. Not double tops, double bottoms, my bad. We created some kind of double bottoms, right? As y'all can see it, we created some kind of double bottoms. Even though it's not that clear, but trust me, just because you do not see it doesn't mean it's not there. Stop guessing and start putting in the work, right? Guessing and buying signals won't get you so far. Put in the work by yourself and you will be amazed by how far you can come, trust me, right? So we see that, hey, we created some kind of double bottoms, and eventually the funny thing is, right, look at this. We created some kind of double bottoms and price did what? Just pushed to the upside massively. Like price just pushed massively. So this again is some kind of example showing you that patience is key in the market. Just because your session has began doesn't mean you have to take trades. Just because your session is active doesn't mean you have to be active too, right? Patience is key. Wait for the market to come to you. But in other words, don't trade the market for what you think or what you heard. Trade the markets for what you know, for what you see, right? Don't make things hard for yourself trying to like do everything complicated using trend lines, indicators, this and that. Trade the markets for what they are, right? So obviously we would see that if we took our trade right here, we would have been stopped out, but it would be also a nice beautiful 1 2 3, right? Because we would put our stop loss under our support, right? It would be a nice setup, I wouldn't even lie. But I don't like this kind of setups because they kind of goofy in some way. You see, eventually take profit did get hit, but if you were too patient to wait for price to come and retest that same support and wait for that subsequent candle, right, you would have like caught a beautiful 1 to 8, and that's so rare in the market. Like trust me, like catching 1 to 8, 1 to 10, like shit. Sorry for my language, but that's so rare. So yeah, you know, so that's about 5,000 pips, bro. That's crazy. So that's how it is. Nothing crazy. Just you following the markets, trading the markets for what they are. And again, apply this one on your account in order for it not to blow. Trust me. Risk 1% or less. The 1% rule for institutional traders limits the risk on any given trade to no more than 1% of a trader total account value. Traders can risk 1% of their account by trading either large positions with tight stop losses or small positions with stop losses placed far away from their entry price, right? But the main moral is proper risk management is key, right? Patience is key. Consistency is key. Yes, you may have the skill, but you may be defeated because you cannot apply proper risk management. Yes, you may have proper risk management, but you may be kill because you do not have the skill, right? So it's always vice versa. So keep on learning, keep on backtesting, keep on practicing. I cannot say that more. Keep on practicing, never stop. Trading is the future.